Good evening, everybody. I've met most of you already. My name is John Kidd. You call me Jay. I just realized there's another Jay walking around here. We're going to call him JH. I'm a member of the Illinois Black Chamber of Commerce's Cross-Pollination Committee, and today is our second workshop. Some of you are first-timers here. Last week was sort of an introduction to cross-pollination, and we had Mr. Taylor Duvet was here talking with us. And he talked about the importance of cross-pollination between companies, businesses, individuals, specifically in the Black community. And today we're going to build upon that. We're going to segue into a workshop about certification, different types of certification that are offered here in the city of Chicago. Hopefully by the end of this evening, you'll have enough information. If you are not already certified, you'll have enough information that will entice you to become certified and continue to work with us through this process. I'm going to bring up a gentleman who has over 20 years experience with the city of Chicago. Within the recent years, he's been the deputy director, well, deputy commissioner. Did I get that right?
It's all the same.
Deputy director, commissioner. He's down the food chain, we'll put it that way. With the Department of Procurement for the city of Chicago, and they are the department that's responsible for sending out information on certification and actually getting you certified. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up Mr. George Coleman to sit here and give you guys some information about certification with the city of Chicago.
Thank you, guys. Good evening. So as Mr. Kidd stated, my name is George Coleman. I have over 20 years experience throughout city government. Actually, as of last week, I made my 4th year and year 4 in procurement. Before that, I was at CTA for 5.5 years doing intergovernmental affairs. I used to work with the Springfield team, went out to Springfield, lobbied to DC, and my goal was to lobby to bring back funding initiatives and streams for Chicago Transit Authority. I also worked in the president's office there. Before that, I ran Mayor Daley's campaign in 2007 for the entire South Side of 19 automatic wards I'm responsible for, as well as we were getting, at the time, Stephen Daley city treasurer elected, which was really successful. I believe he had the, out of his team, the highest percentage of African American votes. I believe it was 98.7%, which was the highest he had ever. So we was responsible for getting him reelected at the time, which happened to be his prior to that, I was in the city at the city of Chicago, Department of Finance, Department of Planning Development, and also the Waste Management Division of the city of Chicago. As Mr. Kidd stated, with the contracting authority for the city of Chicago, we might hand off from animal control to salt for streets and sanitation, to bollards at the Department of CDOT, transportation. So we're pretty big. I mean, my staff is not that big. I have about 12 to 15 people that are actually oversee and supervise. And actually, procurement services is about 83 to 90 people. So, excuse me, in conjunction to some other city departments, including infrastructure, it's pretty small. But we do a lot of great things in procurement. I want to first thank Mr. Kidd also for putting this together and kind of getting everybody together. I mean, he's been very adamant about getting this together, about certifying businesses, about bringing opportunities to our neighborhood. And I say our neighborhood because I can actually walk home from here. I don't live on the north side. I don't live southwest. I live 2 blocks on 9924 South Union. This is where I grew up at. Been knowing Mr. Kidd for a long time. I go to Bell Cleaners. I mean, I'm from the neighborhood, so I'm not a guy who's just up here singing and dancing with you guys. I live in the area. Again, I can walk home from here, so that's how close I am to this location here. What I kind of want to talk about, I want to start going around and kind of get a feel for you guys. This is not a one-way street. I'm not going to sit here and just talk and you all just look at me, you know, with the small face. So I want to just kind of get a sense of my audience and who's in the room, first of all, starting Mr. Kidd. I'll start with Mr. Kidd and then work my way all the way back around.
My name is John Kidd, the coordinator for the Illinois Black Chamber of Commerce Cross Pollination.
My name is Jay Harris. I'm the owner of Drinks on Me Catering. We are full-on catering business, food and bar service, hence the name Drinks on Me.
Hi, I'm Anita Plaza. We would like the water, and we specialize in purified water coolers.
I'm Naomi Davis, the founder of Blacks and Green, and we are the authors and teachers of the 8 principles of Green Village Building, and we work in Chicago and around the country to build what we call our the city of villages, where every household can walk to work, walk to learn, and walk to play, most especially in the Black community. Where
My name is Daniel. I own Roosevelt Red Flower Boutique. It's a retail flower store on 93rd and Halsted. Been in business for 4.5 years.
I am the president of the Financial Education Alliance. I broker financial products. So this is actually my card for the Federal Employee Association. But I educate people on different types of investments. And I also assist him with his marketing and roses are red.
I'm also advisor on the advisory board on 119th Street. And a whole lot of hats to be honest with you, but we just happen to be here.
Perry Jones, DNP Jones Insurance Services, 10615 South Halsted Street. I've been there since 1978, retired from Chicago Transit Authority, and also chairperson of South Halsted Chamber of Commerce.
My name is Ron Spraggins. I am the president of the Calumet Spraggins Savannah. We own the Illinois Nature Preserve in Kankakee. So I'm just up and starting.
Okay. Well, I see we have an array of businesses in terms of years of experience. One of the things I do like about the certification process now is that initially we never certified startup businesses. In Canada, when I came over in February 2013, one of the questions I asked our commissioner was that, why do we fault anyone for being a startup business? You shouldn't be faulted for acquiring a business in the last year or two. So one of the things I did when I came over is I changed that concept where if you are a startup business, you can also apply for certification now. I know you also talk about what you do. That would be helpful at the airport. Right now, we have an increase with the airport concession, the ACDB, that I'll talk about in a moment. They have an RFP that's out on the street, and I don't know if you're familiar with the O'Hare 21 project that's out there at O'Hare. So basically, it's going to be a big project that's out there that will encompass a lot of, they're going to be, I believe, building 2 hotels. It's going to be a lot of infrastructure out there. So right now, that's on the street now. So I mean, we can talk more about that as we go on. That'll be good for you, even getting the ACDB at the airport. Concession certification is for those who occupy station at the airport, or you provide a service to a concessionaire. So, for example, consulting services, if you do power washing, you're providing that respective service to an existing concessionaire. So that might be something you might consider looking at. Someone else mentioned about insurance, and you said about investments. I mean, those are all certifiable NAICS codes that we do have, and which you can be certified for. We don't have a lot of African Americans, people of color that are even certified in those arenas. So, I mean, right now, my goal is to kind of go out and work with Mr. Kidd and his son and other individuals to try to acquire these certifications for people. Kind of when I came in, some of you guys in the room that have been around for a while might have more of a horrific story than I do, but when I came in, what had happened was, under Mayor Daley, certification was moved from procurement services, and it was sent over to the Office of Compliance. And then when Mayor Ron came, when he was elected into office, he brought the program back home to its original department. And what that did was it hindered businesses from growing because they pretty much terminated everybody. People had retired and left, and no one really cared about the program. So what happened was those who were in the pipeline and getting certified, those who were going through the process, those who were going through appeals, never heard anything from the city of Chicago. And as a result, a lot of their pertinent documents were lost and were stolen or just was put to the side. And when you apply for certifications, I'll talk about later, there are certain things that we have in terms of our checklist, application checklist. And one of those things is your tax return, your financials, your social security number, your driver's license. These are things that we normally ask for, and these are things that applicant firms could no longer find. They had submitted documentation, and the staff at the time, the administration at the time, said they lost the information. So when I came in 2013, it came back home, but again, you had people who had been waiting a year to get certified, 2 years. Some people was waiting 3 years. The application process is only 90 to 120 days. Why in the world are they waiting 3 years to acquire a certification? I have no idea, but that was one of the challenges that I had to deal with in coming in. One of the things I had asked our commissioner, I said, well, do you have anybody like on deck to assist with the application process? And the answer was no. One of the things I did, one of the flyers that you have, it says get certified. One of the things that I had changed, and when I came in, I had somebody specifically on my floor to assist any of you guys with the application process, and that encompasses uploading documents, that encompasses downloading your information on a computer, scanning your information, and these are different things that some people don't have. They don't have the resources sometimes, and that doesn't mean they shouldn't be able to apply for certification. So one of the things I did was I started a pilot program with someone down the hall, and she works for me 24 hours, and all she does is sit down there and upload documents. I mean, per appointment, of course, but we do have walk-ins as well. But one of the things I thought we should have someone on deck just to sit down there and upload your documents. We actually just started a paperless application process as of January of 2016. Beforehand, a lot of you all in the room, I'm sure can remember when it was all hard copy. People, they would bring down a wheelbarrow information, and I don't know what they were submitting. They don't know what they submitted. They might have had someone in their office that actually did their administrative assistant work. So we would have to go through the information and find out 3 or 4 weeks later that they don't have all the pertinent documents. But what that does is that make you miss out on opportunities, and I just didn't think that was not transparent at all. So one of the things I did was I worked with our C2 system, our IT system, as well as our commissioner, and we started an application process, which it's been in effect since January of last year, and it's actually helped the process because now it's more checks and balances about what we do. And before, again, like I said, people would bring all this information. Now, I don't know what was submitted. I don't do files personally, so I'll have to have my staff go through it, and then to only find out after a month that everything that's requested is not in the application packet. So one of the things we did, again, we started the application, paperless application process, and then I said, what else can we do to make the program better? We have this sheet here that you guys have. We have 6, well, and here it says we have 17. We have almost 20 classes that we teach now. How to become certified, the ACDB and the DBs of applications, certification. You're certified now in what? And compliance documentation. So all these are taught by myself or my staff. There's no consultant coming in doing it. No one who cares, that don't care about the program. These are people that live and breathe and do this every single day. So they know that you can ask them questions. We also have it where it's live streamed too. So in the event that you guys don't want to spend $50 to come downtown and park and come upstairs, now I have it when you can watch it in the comfort of your own home. So you can watch it from your own home. They're live streamed. You can also submit comments, excuse me, if you want to rate the presenter. If you couldn't hear them, if they was too loud, they was too low, you can rate the presenter via the email as well. So these are some of the things that I've implemented since I've been there in my 4-year tenure that I'm trying to make the process better, because some of the things I always hear is that there's no opportunities for African Americans out here, or we never get any calls. We can't bid. I have a class now of how to bid. I have somebody on staff that will teach you guys how to bid, from A to Z, how to walk through the paperwork, how to fill out an RFP, how to submit an RFP. And these are things, like I said before, we never had because no one really cared. And as I told Mr. Kidd when he first started this, I said, I live in a neighborhood, I want to see people like me working. It's against the law to say hire all African Americans, but as long as anything minority goes and I see people of color, I'm happy with that. I don't have any dark horse in the race. I just want some people like me to get opportunities, and I hear it every day when people call. And they're excited about something as small as you calling them back. And I'm like, we work for the taxpayers. This is taxpayers' money. So every day at 3:30, 4 o'clock, I carve out an hour of my day to return every email, return every phone call. And I demand it from my staff. And if you're not going to do that, you're not going to be working for me. Because my commission is the same way. I mean, Mr. Kidd, he calls all the time. And he's very persistent, but we all get busy doing whatever we do in life every day that pays the bills. So he's been standing on me about this. He's been standing on all of the guys that's involved with this process to make it better. And I think that him being a member of the chamber is going to be very beneficial because he is bringing that. I don't care about quantity. I care about quality. And I think that he's bringing quality applicants to the table. I mean, not to say that they didn't have any, of course, but I think that Mr. Kidd being involved, that him being around, that him being a business in appealing to the community who's been around for years, he's seen the growing pains. He's seen companies come and go. He can talk about small business and big business, and I think that's what we need, someone who can capture that certain arena of applicant firms. Right now, does anyone have any specific questions about the certification process or the application process in particular?
Yeah, I know. I had after last December, I got an opportunity to do a RFP for Rivers Casino, and it was my first RFP, and I got the opportunity at the last minute, so I really didn't have enough opportunity for time to research how to do that. How long do that process take to learn?
You're referring to what the RFP process or the certification process for that?
Yeah, actually the dual RFP, to put one together, the actual bid.
Well, that's not my shop. We have a person that does that. What I do is I certify. Once I certify, then you have to go to our contract admin side, and they work with you to get the RFP done. I don't work with those at all. Okay. And it's kind of like, I'm glad I don't, because it's kind of like a conflict almost, because you're actually certifying vendors and then on the front end. So once we get them started and revved up, we make sure they're in compliance, and then they go and they learn about the RFP process. Okay. Because I mean, again, I've been around, like I said, 20-some years. I have a lot of relationships that I've built. And what happens is you have a lot of people start calling you about the process, and so I try to alleviate and separate that when I can avoid, to make that whole process separate. So I mean, like I said, we certify and then we make sure they're compliant, and then at that point they'll go on the other side and learn about the RFP process. Yes, Mr. Keith.
I think one of the things he was relating to is he had a opportunity to bid on some flowers to who was that?
Rivers Casino.
Rivers Casino, and he didn't know how to do RFP. Can they take that RFP class prior to being certified?
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's what you was asking.
Yeah,
right? He wants to be able to get in there, so next time he gets one, he'll be comfortable with it.
We have a deputy Byron Whitaker. He's been down there 30 years in procurement, solely in procurement, and that's all he does. He chose firms out to walk through the RFP process. More recently, we had a workshop we did with Melinda Kelly over the Channel Business. But I think she had about 50 people, and he went out and walked through the whole process. And I think the workshop would be helpful because it walks you through from A to Z of what to do, and it's free. We don't charge for these. You know, these are workshops that I put on by my staff, other individuals in procurement, so they're free. And like I said, if you don't have the time to come down, everybody's busy. You can your live stream as well.
Theirs are live streamed also?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Because I feel like it's a disservice for you to spend $50 to come
it is
down,
definitely a
try to find a way to park. Now you get upstairs, you sweat, you run upstairs, and you now you never really focus on what's going on. And I just think it doesn't make sense to have everybody come downtown. I mean, everybody's, again, I always say this, they're busy doing whatever they're doing. And if it's more convenient to do it from home and watch this, then I'm for that. So you don't have to come down at all.
That's great.
What's some of the major things that keep a small business from becoming certified? I'm trying to be politically correct. Our people are the hardest. I'll just leave it at that. You know, we're the hard. We always want shortcuts. We want. So the local program, which encompasses, we have 5 certification types. You have MBE, which is Minority Business Enterprise. You have WBE for Women Business Enterprise. You have BEPD for those applicant firms that have disabilities. We certify them as well. Then you have the 2 federal programs, which is DBE, Disadvantaged Business, which is on this page here. And then you have ACDB, which is what I was telling the gentleman about the concession airport.
What does that stand for?
Airport Concessions, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. So that's that. So when you're flying out of town and you see like a restaurant there, or you see a floor shop, those guys have to be ACDB certified at the United States Airport. So that encompasses Midway and over there. And with the certification, you're good for 5 years. So once you receive the certification, you're good for 5 years. The local program is $250. The application fee is $250. You pay that, you're good for 5 years. The federal program is free. So the TB and ACDB, you don't have to pay for that. In terms of the answer to your question, what's the hindrance? A lot of us want stuff, we don't provide the information that's requested. So let's say if you're applying and I need 5 years of tax returns, somebody might give me 3. But they'll say, they'll give me 1. If I ask for a resume, they'll say, well, I've been in this 30 years, I don't have one. It's not for me, it's for the process. And again, I get it if you've been on your own for 20, 30 years. I mean, I don't have a regular resume right now either. I mean, because I've always been able to go into another job. But my point is, you have to be on standby just in case to be ready, because you never know. And I think what happens is sometimes people feel like because I've been doing business a certain type of way that they feel like they should be granted certification. And not to say the way you've been doing business is wrong, but for the purpose of this program, it has to be certain guidelines in place for the certification. I mean, you know, it's disheartening when you have to deny a firm who's a mom and pop, who's been around 15 to 20 years, and they don't have a lot of resources, they don't know the process, they've had somebody running their day-to-day, and that person leave on them or rip off, and then they come down and they upset with us, or just to see them crying about not being able to get certified. Or if they're for renewal, because that's every 5 years. In between 5 years, if nothing's changed, you have to submit a no change affidavit. And all that document says is nothing's changed. Your address is still the same, the ownership is still the same, the affiliates are still the same, nothing's changed. But if something has changed, you have to let us know, because we have no way of knowing it until we reach out to you, or if you reach out to us, so you submit that information, and then we'll go ahead and update your file. But that's one of the big things I'll probably say, just people not giving you what you need, wanting to take shortcuts, or blaming somebody else for why they haven't submitted their paperwork. And everything's done online now, so we can see like what percent of incompleteness that you're at. So if I say, well, you didn't submit your documents, yes, I did, I sent them to you. I can look on my system and see where you're at. Yes, sir.
Can I give them some examples real quick?
Sure.
I'm going to give you some specific examples. Like you said, gaps in your taxes, incomplete resumes, improper signage, no signage. I mean, any detailed equipment. You know, you got to have your equipment list, things that you use.
What do you mean signage?
You didn't say it.
If you're a business, you have to have the proper type of signage on the outside of your business. If it's not there, that can hold you up. It's a list this big, and it's in the details. A lot of it's in the details. You know, crossing the T's and dotting the I's. Just putting together a lot of information. I just gave you some prime examples because we just received ours recently. And you know, you got to go back and forth. You think you have it right, you know, and they'll send it right back to you and say, hey, we need it this way. So
And like I said, it's a lot of, thanks for that, kid. It's a lot of upcoming projects. I talked earlier that I worked at CTA. Well, when I was there 4 years ago, we were initially going to take the red line down Halsted. And I was one of the people that fought against doing that because I know the existing alderman, Kerry Austin, was against that. The small businesses were against it because they would have wiped them out. So what I had lobbied for, that was one of my initiatives, I had lobbied for them to go along the UPC line right there at Edwardson, which is what they're going to do now. They're going to literally come down Halsted here. And I lobbied against it because that would have wiped everybody out on this corridor here. And they were really adamant about doing it. And what would have happened was it would have been eminent domain for those existing homes along 95th coming across. So we was able to wipe that out, but that's what they wanted to do initially. That was the initial plan. And they had actually went so far as to start reaching out to the homeowners, offering them a certain amount of price point for their properties. So yeah, it was, yeah. With that, I mean, along the Eccleston line, along coming across, they want to come across and then shoot out south. That was the initial conversation. So I didn't think that would be beneficial for the area. So what they're going to do now, from my understanding, is they're going to go out to 130, but they're going along the UPC line, which is a little bit different than coming up. So they were, again, it was, I mean, we had, it was to the point where I was having town hall meetings with Chairman also, the show once a month, talking about it. And a lot of those businesses were being set up. Still wipe them out. But CTA, at the time, they didn't really care about that. They was just trying to get the project done. And there was another funding strip to that it was. But as he said, he just went through and I'm glad he brought that up because he's a good example of someone that was real patient, and we went back and forth in terms of documents that were needed. He never did his stuff. And, you know, I could see that. I saw the potential in their front off top. And it had nothing to do with who he is, but everything to do with what he did. You know, and I like to say that because a lot of people, and I want to make sure they stuff is real tight because we have a relationship with Mr. Kidd, me and my commissioner, and Mr. Ivy with the Black Chamber. So I want to make sure nobody said he got it because he knew someone. And they always want to say, we know somebody, but when someone of another eventually get it, they went through chain of command. So I know that I want to make sure all this stuff was dotted and crossed. Yes, sir.
George, just to kind of ease some of the people's mind, because when you start talking about what it takes to get certified, it's very frightening. Now, I'm listening, I'm looking at some people and they say, wow, you know, why is it so important that you get certified even if you're not going to use it right now? And the other part of that is that if you listen to what he said earlier, that they have people that can help you step by step. And that's what you have to hear, because you don't want to try to do this. I was certified 15 years ago, I think, somewhere around there, and I let it lapse, and I didn't recertify. But I know the process I went through, and it was a paper, hard paper. And my paper got lost 3 or 4 different times, so they had me for some of the same thing. And when I finally got it, and it was like a blessing, believe me. But now they've got it where you can take the time to go down, and over X amount of period of months, you will have all your paperwork done, because as you come down to those different meetings, you bring that information, they'll upload it to your file. And then they'll say, okay, this is here, let's go do that. But when you have to do this all by yourself, it can be very complicated.
Well, Mr. Key, I think that's a good point you brought up. The first thing you talked about is widely important. And I always tell people, you always want to be prepared and ready. You just never know an opportunity to come up. And if you get your certification, something comes up, you're ready to go. Otherwise, you're trying to call downtown and submit your documents and try to get in the pipeline. And by the time you went through the 90 to 120-day process, it's too late. You missed out on and I've met a lot of people who said, well, it's too strenuous, or I don't have the time, or you all ask for everything under the sun. But what I tell them is that every day the Inspector General's office and he's in office every other day. Yes, sir.
I think it only took me about 3 months. I had mine. You know, like Mr. Kidd said, I had some years ago, and then I let it lapse. But after I started back up, and take it.
Yeah, because it's the same information, all these updated information. But then I think now, I tell you guys 90 to 120 days, but I mean, I'm turning someone over in 60 days now, because if you're like real low risk, consulting, you're a florist, that's low risk. Now, construction is a little bit different, because that's where we have all the trouble at. That's where everybody try to be shady and slick and nickel slick, so we have to like really watch those. With construction, we have to do also site visits. We have to go out and see your where you're storing your information, what do you have. I mean, some guys apply for stuff, and then we go out and do a site visit, and then they don't have anything but a little room. No material. I'm like, where are your tools at? Oh, yeah, my buddy house, I gotta call him. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not really your stuff. And if you don't have access to it, then I don't consider it yours. So that's the worst one is construction, because when it comes to construction and hauling, that's what people try to be real slick at. Anything real low risk, we turn them over maybe in 60 days. So, I mean, I don't know what you guys are looking to get certified in.
And to your point, can I ask you a specific question? Sure. We are launching a community solar program, so we're going to be training workforce to install and maintain solar electricity infrastructure. Anything coming up in that area, or does that cross your desk at all?
Yeah, I have to check with the infrastructure. Probably water, seed out of the streets, and say I have to check with the infrastructure department. And 2FM too. I have to check with them too. I know they're doing some stuff in terms of solar.
The other thing we do is landscaping.
We always need more landscapers, always.
Oh, really?
We always get, I mean, I can't refer anybody, but sometimes we'll get a call about, do you know a good landscaper? And my response is, we have a database.
Right.
With everybody, so once you get certified, you're in this big pool of a big database that we have. Mm-hmm. One of the other things you talked about, that book there, the buying plan. This is probably the first time that we have it where there's an 18-month forecast of anything coming in the pipeline. So before, when there was a bid coming up, you know what happened? You wouldn't find out about it until the day before in the darn newspaper.
Right.
And it's in the back of the page.
Right.
So what happened was, I talked to my commissioner. We were like, well, let's get a buying plan that not only encompasses the city project, but everybody else. PVC, public schools, CTA, they're all in that book.
Wow.
So there's no hiding now about what's in the pipeline. Because I think everybody should have the same opportunity to know what's going on. And before, only if you, as they say, if you was plugged, you knew about it. And I feel like everybody, especially our people, should have the same looks that everybody else has. So that book there outlines every city department, also every user and system department too. So CTA, city colleges, the park district, anything that's forthcoming is in that book. So there's no hiding no more about what's going on. So you can see the any other opportunities that are forthcoming in the next 18 months. And we roll those out so we'll have a new one coming out soon. That's beautiful. I believe that's last quarter of 16. Going into, that's first quarter 17.
17 to second quarter 18.
So we roll those out every like 6 to 8 months, because as you know, things are consistently changing, and we want to make sure that everybody knows about any opportunities that come up. So
there's a few people didn't get one. Can you?
Yeah, I have someone. I have.
If you drop off.
Yeah, no, they're in the car. I will. Okay, no, he gonna leave. He gonna leave with everything.
Okay.
I gotta get in the car. So like I said, I mean that's a good forecast of what's coming up, because again, and I'm not trying to scare you all in terms, as Mr. T said about the certification process, but what I was saying earlier before I changed it, the IG, he's in our office every day, and he wants to make sure that everybody is in here who they're supposed to be. And you have a lot of people who are fronts. They might have, they might be a white male, but he has an African American wife, and he's acquired the WBE for purposes of a contract. So we get word all the time when people dropping down with somebody that's a competitor about them potentially using someone on the sub where it's a prime, and it's a front. So, especially with the silver shovel and the higher truck stuff, so we want to really make sure that, you know, if I put my name on something, I want to make sure that you're who you say you are. Right. So that's why we send you through some stuff to make sure, and also what it does, to your other point, Mr. Kidd, sometimes if you are certified and you put that on your business card or your work institution or whatever, it gives you a one leg up. At least they know that you've been vetted out through a process. And not to say we have the best process in the world, but they know that you've been vetted out through a process. They might give you a leg up in terms of a job opportunity or just someone knowing that you went through the process. So even from here's an example of that, it's good to be certified as well. If anything comes up, then you can be ready for it. Yes, ma'am.
Now, if you are a double-blind minority, are you allowed to be in the MBE and the WBE?
Yes, that's a good question. What I always tell people is apply for everything under the sun. So you should apply for the M, the W, the D. Let us tell you no. But get everything you can, because if an opportunity come up at the airport or at CTA, and you don't have your DBE, now you're going to call me saying, I got to get my DBE now, when you could have got it all at one time. Or if it's an MBE, something that they might need an MBE on a job or a W, you want to get it all. I mean, we know you, minority, we know you're a woman. I mean, you don't have to really dispute that, so, yes, sir.
So you can certify for everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just real quick, my last little point about this. If you're really serious about it and you start the process, I guarantee you're going to learn something about yourself you didn't know. You're going to find some information that they need, and you're going to go, wow, I didn't even know I had that information.
Yeah.
So, it's really detailed, and, they break it down. Like you said, you really get vetted. And I think the city know more about me and my partners and my wife, to be honest with you, the stuff you all dug up.
I mean, we look for everything. We just want to make sure who you say you are. And, I mean, you even have a lot of people who leave city government have them certified because they see the benefit of the certification. I mean, I know people who used to work for me, they started their own business, and they're now going through the process. You have to wait, it's a certain timeline you have to wait unless you do that, but it's a good certification to have. Like I said, it vets you out. Yes, sir.
What's the difference in the city certification versus other minority business certification? It's like a county.
So, with the city certification, we have reciprocity with the county. So what that means is, if you certify with the city and or the county, the other entity automatically accepts you for the certification. So we started that in January of 13. So let's say if you certify with the county already, then we recognize your certification. The other entities, so I mean, but everybody wants the city certification. That's the one everybody wants. I mean, in a lot of firms, they're like, you got the city certification. I'm like, no, that's the one they want you to have. But the beauty of ours is that we have reciprocity with the county. So, but most people don't want to go to the county because they want the city. But if you have the county, you don't need the city because we honor that as well for purposes of contract.
And if you have the city, you don't need the county. Is this like where you do business at or where you live at for the certifications?
Well, the certification is the local program is encompassed in the 6-county region. So you have, because you have to be a local business to qualify for the local program. So that's the M&W, BPD, and that encompasses the 6-county region. So Cook County, Kane County, Lake,
Okay, it's definitely
Camry,
Okay.
DuPage, all of the neighboring counties.
So
We have some people, what they'll do is, like, for example, Seaway Bank sold their bank to an Indian guy, I believe, who's from the city of Houston, like Houston, Texas, somewhere. Now what they're trying to do now is keep their certification. You can't keep it because you're not a local business. So what they want to do is open up shop here, a little storefront or something on 87 somewhere, but you can't do that because the majority of your workforce has to be here within the 6-county region.
Okay.
So right now we're fighting with it because now they want to still keep their certification. Now the DB and the ACB they can keep if they give me all new information to support them keeping that at the airport. But the local program they're going to lose it. So now we're fighting with them because they don't want to give it up, but they have no choice. I mean, you can't just open up. I mean, like I have a couple of businesses who tried to get certified on the local program, and they open up shops somewhere, and they got one person in the darn office. So I mean, for purposes of certification, the majority of your workforce has to be here. And I look at W-2s. I look at tax. So I'm gonna find out if that's not true. But isn't that fair to you guys? It's not fair to nobody in this room for somebody to come in who lives in Ohio and then open up an office here, and they have the same benefits that all you guys have. It's not fair. So that's why we don't do it. And that has to also go through city council, and the alderman would never approve it, because they would get ran out of town. So, I mean, but it's not fair to the guys who live here, who reside here, who work here every day, and somebody come and say, well, I want to open up a business and get certified, and then go back to Ohio, wherever they're from. But that's a big issue with Seaway now. I mean, it's to the point now where they've gotten everybody involved, elected officials, the media, but we're not going to do it. I know you got a question. You got a question.
I want to apologize for being late. My mom said never show up late and look at the gift, so I'm bring something.
Watch the con.
Yeah, I think so. In terms of what have you guys heard about the certification part? Maybe I want to hear that, because I think that we have so many people who look at it as a negative light, and it's really not. It's a beautiful certification, but I know our people is a little bit different. And in terms of opportunities, what have you all heard, negative or positive? Yes, sir.
Well, I've just recently been certified, our organization. What I do like about it is that they send you information about training.
Yeah.
So I was able to go through the training to get more information, and it seems like, from the training, that at least the staff want to go. They kind of bent over backwards, the staff that was working.
What kind of training was that?
That training, they were talking about how you can expand your certification. It was.
You mean, are you referring to the workshops that we had?
The workshop, yeah.
Well, the expansion part, so I'll explain a little bit too. So the expansion part, what happens is if you're certified, let's say if you have a NICS code, because NICS codes, that's what lowering your certification level. And what you might get certified, let's say in plumbing, electrical wiring, consulting services, construction, drywall. And let's say if a contract comes up and they want you to have tile removal or hauling or something, you can expand on your NICS codes and your certification. So you're already certified, which all you want to do is add to your existing certification. You can do that as well. So what we do is we call it an expansion request. We'll ask you for like copies of invoices and copies of showing that you've done the work before. And you provide that information to us, and we'll expand your certification. So it is more wider for you than local. I mean, if something comes up, you don't want to miss out on those opportunities. So that's why I say apply for everything that you think that you qualify for, as opposed to just picking two codes and then something else comes up. Now you back in my face again, like I need my stuff. So I'd rather you get everything you can off the top.
So when it's a startup, however, there's a whole different look-see that you're doing.
Well, I mean, you can't give me what you don't have, right? So if we need 3 years of tax returns and you say I only been in business a year, I can't make you can't make it up. So we treat those a little bit different because we don't hold you to the fire because you're a startup. And like I told Jamie, our CPO, I think it's good that even startups now can get certified, because you shouldn't penalize someone because they just started a business. And before you had to be in business, I believe it was 2 years before you could even look to get certified. I think that's the dumbest thing ever. Because I mean, if you just started a business and you want to take advantage of the opportunities, if they're like the CTA project's coming up, if you all want to get on that to do hauling or drywall or painting, and you just started your business, why should you be penalized because you just started a business? You should have the same benefits as someone else. But as you said earlier, I'll try to make that process better, and even with the consultation of once you get certified, how to use it. I was talking to Mr. Kidd about, we have a class called You're Certified Now What? So once you get certified, you don't get money don't start falling down the stack. Right. You have to market yourself.
You're right.
You have to go to like the pre-bid meetings. We just had a workshop. If you look on the back of that bid book, we just had an event about 2 weeks ago. We had over 1,000 people there. And we had primes, and you had subs.
I had at the church.
Yeah.
I went to that.
Yeah.
And I found out because I went to that workshop.
Yeah, it was really nice. We had a lot of people there, and it wasn't no dog and pony. I don't believe in that. And I wanted to do something in the neighborhood, because the concern was that you never do nothing on the west side. You always do something out south. And it's always somewhere like the South Shore. So we don't want to do it. You know, and that's what we did. We went to JLM church, and it was a good event.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people there. Everybody was excited. It wasn't no rah-rah. I mean, people got business cards. And people have already networked with people that they met 2 weeks ago in terms of going out and potentially doing some work. Because really it's about people seeing you, your face. I mean, if I see Mr. Kidd at every event, I'm like, either something wrong with him, he don't have nothing to do, or he's serious about trying to work somewhere. So at a certain point, I'm going to say, okay, well, who is Mr. Kidd? And we have a lot of people, they've got work just by being there every day. A lot of people. It was nice. There would be 1,000 people there. Now, and I'm not saying with the vendors. I'm saying in general, we had 1,000 people that came through the passage of, and it was a really good event. I have a question for you. What has been a good, I mean, your benefit in certification, you think, for you?
Well, it hasn't been so good.
No.
Because I got what I got without being certified.
Okay.
Because some years ago, and right now, I was going to pop a question to you. Things now, his wife, she's 51% owner.
Okay.
She and her husband in business. Explain that.
So she 51%.
She owns 51%.
He got what,
she and her husband. She and her husband and wife. Okay, but she owns 51% of the business. She's a minority.
So she African American?
No,
He is.
no, both of them.
They're both white, and
They're
she's
both white.
certifying as a woman.
She's certified as a woman. She owns 51% of the company. She's a minority.
Yeah. As opposed to the 40. Yeah. Now, what happened if it was 50? We would go for the information because it's 50-50. But if it's 51, yeah, she was still qualified. She still does. What is she? Is she on some existing bids or?
No, I'm saying they're in business together, the husband and wife. As long as she got control and
As long as she's 51%, yeah, she's considered
she's a
control.
minority.
Yeah, she's
That's
considered
one.
control. Yeah.
Now getting back to the first question you asked me, something happened to me in the last 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
I knew the guys got a contract back with CTA. I had a contract with CTA since 1991. And they canceled my contract back in 12 with no reason at all. And they sent me a letter saying I need to be on the list. And CTA is the one that came out to my office that put my certification back together.
Okay.
Now here come another white guy came from Aflac, got the contract. They said they wasn't going to open up any more payroll deduction anymore.
Okay.
For people like myself. But they got the contract. About 3 months ago.
I did hear somebody else like did something.
I worked there too, and they definitely did get that contract. And there was an African American man who.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, he actually did their property and casualty insurance and had a 10-year relationship with them, and then he just used the head of that, who is white.
Yeah.
They used the head of that firm to get that business.
That's right. Now I've been there since I was there since 1991.
But one thing, we don't have control over what they do. I mean, that's.
But I just want to.
I know
did I have a problem?
And like I said, the process. No, and the process to me is not really always fair. Especially. I mean, I heard about that too. I mean, I'm not even over anymore, but I did hear about what happened. Mm-hmm. And it was something allegedly that they have a long-term relationship.
And the letter came from little Larry Walls. Yeah. Larry Walls the one that sent me the letter.
Yeah.
He had no authority to send a letter out.
Right.
But that's okay. They come.
And and that's the thing too. Again, I can't speak for them, but a lot of they don't care about this program. It was, in my opinion, it was designed for those who are disadvantaged, but people that are non-disadvantaged take advantage of it. And it's so unfortunate, to your point, that that they pulling people off, putting other people on, you know, because of the relationships.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't think that's right. I mean, but, I mean, that's what they do sometimes.
Yeah.
I know they've been having a lot of issues over there in terms of pulling people off. You say you work over there?
Yeah, and I also work for a firm that they pulled off, a black agency, Advantage Insurance Agency. And I know they pulled their payroll deduction off. But I work at both firms. That's why I'm broker, because I want to know what's going on everywhere.
Everywhere, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we've had issues where I'm at too. I'm not pointing the finger. I would never do that because, again, people pointing back at you. We have issues too in terms of people getting paid. They perform all this work and they don't get paid. And we're not responsible for payments to controllers offices, but I kind of work with whoever has a request and try to get them their money. And we've had people, they've been over $1.5 million. You know, and they have all this overhead and they're not getting paid. You know, it's sad, but.
What causes that?
Well, some people don't want to pay. I mean, it's just like they just don't want to pay. And it depends on your relationships with people. It depends on, you know, they just don't want to pay. I mean, that's the short answer. They just don't want to pay. And some people feel privileged because if they are, as we call the big boys, the guys, the Wall Street of the world, and the Kiwis, and the, you know, Kiwi did the red line. We shut the red line down from Cermax in '95. They did that project. And there was some people who was complaining they didn't get paid. Yeah, when they shut you all remember they shut the red line down for like 5-6 months? Yeah. And there was a GC on that project, and there was some people that never got paid. Now they doing 95th Street, and they got some black faces on there, but ain't nobody really a color on some of the projects. They really not. And I know like the Almond, I think that's Brookings and Sawyer's Ward. I believe 95th Fall. It used to be Bill, I think it's Brookings and Sawyer.
That's Bill and
Is Bill still over there? He's on the West Chesterfield side. Yeah, and he's a
this right there.
Yeah, and he's the chairman of the transportation committee. But again, I mean, you gotta have more people advocating for us. You know, I'm dealing with some stuff right now where there's something on the table downtown, and a lot of our African American elected officials, they gotta come together, they gotta work together. A lot of times they just don't. I mean, you have other ethnicities who they really fight for their people, and I'm not saying ours don't, but
They don't.
they don't come together. They don't come together to do it. You know, it's like how we all talking now. Then when we leave, I tell Mr. Kidd, let them go. I got to go. We gonna have a meeting after the meeting, and that's what they do. They don't ever come together. I mean, it's more power in numbers. So a lot of these companies see that our people don't stick together, and they're the voice for our community. If they don't stick together, then they gonna feel like they can do what they want to do to us. That's how it goes. I mean, we really don't.
They gotta go.
But you know, this is one of the reasons we put this committee together, is so that we can start talking to each other, so we can cross-talk to each other.
Yeah.
You know, we know what the issues are, you know the problems.
Yeah.
And what we want to do is sit down with each individual and say, look, you cannot be a part of what we're doing if you don't consider buying black.
Yeah.
You know, we did a survey from the beginning of the first meeting we had, and we passed out a form just to see, let you know how many black businesses you dealt with. Well, probably 85% of the people, when they finished the form filling out, they have only dealt with 2 or 3 black businesses. But our goal now is, by the time that this program ends, we want to see that increase at least 50%, or at least 100%. Because there are black businesses in this room that none of us buy from. And that's a shame. I buy from him all the time. I buy from him, and I buy from anybody that I know that's black. I know it's hard sometimes because there's a lot of businesses we don't represent, but those should be the type of business we should be trying to get some of these young folks in. So that's
You know,
what
another
we
thing,
want.
Mr. Kidd, I dislike when someone's certified with me, and their whole workforce is non-black.
Oh,
yeah. So everybody that works for you, they're all other ethnicities. But you saying you for the people and you care about us, but no one of color works for you. No one. No one. And one thing I can say about you guys meaning the other Black Chamber, typically when I want to, if even if it's a time waster, I'll still go because that's what we're supposed to do. And you can't dissect and pick out what you think, in your opinion, is a good presentation to go to or a good town hall meeting. I mean, I was off yesterday and I had 4 events to go to. We was off for President's Day, but I really wasn't off, but I was off. But I chose to go anyway, and they were all 4 was a waste of my time. I mean, I'm just being honest. Nobody was there. No great questions, no takeaways. But I still go because it might be that one person that I meet, which I did meet a person in there who wants to get certified. So if I touch that one person, I feel like I've done my job. So I'm not about numbers. Again, I'm not about quantity, I'm about quality. And what I was saying to this kid is that the Illinois Back Change is doing a lot. Like this will be my 4th year going down to Peoria, and I like to see a bunch of us getting together doing some stuff. You know, Larry Nat is sitting around. He has all his tables are filled, all of the workshops. I've done several down there about certification and the process, and they're filled. It's good networking down there. At least you guys are trying. And so often we get a bunch of us in the room just talking about what we're gonna do. I mean, we don't do nothing. And me and him had like great conversations down there. He knew what I'm talking about. I mean, we were down there hanging out, but we also was down there for work, and I learned a lot about him and his business. And it was just good to network and fellowship with some people that look like you.
I don't know if you mentioned it, but you know, there's a misconception that certification is a magic pill for your business. But what it is, I mean, it's definitely putting yourself in position for opportunity. You know, it gives you access. It's just like putting the internet in your house. You know, the people next door that don't have the internet don't have the same access and opportunities that you can, you know, attach yourself to or attempt to attach yourself to. So, and it's important to be certified because, you know, it gives you an opportunity, but you have to work it. You have to use it. You know, it takes work.
You know, one of the things that I did also, so if you all look at the certification piece, on the back of it, it says the hurdles, the application process. And I purposely did that because these are some of the reasons why we can't get certified. You know, you guys asked about that earlier. Incomplete applications. Somebody send me something and this is half incomplete. We have what we call RFIs, requests for information. So let's say if there's something else that needs to be clarified, we send that out. Some people, they never respond to it. Like literally, they'll never respond to it. Then they get a letter saying you'll be denied if you don't say anything. Then they want to call me and get their information in. But that can go on for 2 or 3 months. So that's still part of the timeline that we talk about. No payment received. So as I said before, the federal program is free, but the local is $250 application fee. That don't go to me, that don't go to that. It ain't no magic pot or nothing. That goes actually to the controller's office. And it actually comes back into the program because they always submit it back to us year in. Yes, sir.
Questions. I'm looking through the booklet here and seeing like the project descriptions for different ones. Do any of the like requirements or the skill set or whatever that's needed for some of these positions, do they cross with like different like businesses? Say you have a business, like specifically mine I'm looking at, so we do, you know, the catering, the bar service, event planning, things to that effect. But I see some things where it's like rental support for equipment or something for festivals or something. So that's part of something we are able to do. Is that something we'd be able to bid on if we have that event planning piece as part of it?
Well, you'd have to have that NAICS code too to actually outline what your area of specialty is. So like, I see you have to have the NAICS code to outline what your area of specialty is. So the NAICS codes are
they in this book, those codes?
No, you have to go on the NAICS code website, North American website, and that. So let's say there's a code for plumbing, law enforcement. I just actually just certified somebody today that's a CPA, and she does financial management. She does consulting services. So now she's certified to do that. So now she goes out and does webinars and seminars. There's an RFP coming out, I think, in O'Hare where they're going to need someone to do financial management, like more consulting. She'll be on that. So it just depends on what you think your area of specialty is. And if something that's cross-trained with that, you can get on there, but you have to get the NAICS code for it. Right. Because there's 1,000 NAICS codes. Then you have a NAICS code and you have subcodes. Right. So you might have construction, that you might have excavating, you might have plumbing, you might have drywall. So I tell everybody to apply for whatever one guy, he had 42 NAICS codes to get on this certification. Wow. So when something comes up, you can't say, well, he don't have it. Right. Because he got it on his, if he does construction, he has it. It took him forever to get certified because it was a lot of NAICS codes. And we had to really do our due diligence. But when he got it, he was walking around like this. Because, 40-something NAICS codes. I got an IT guy who, he got almost 50 NAICS codes. Wow. He's on everything. Right. African American guy. But he one of them guys I told you about that don't hire us. So I don't have an advocate of that. If you're gonna benefit from being in the program, you should at least hire your own people. Right. Now, I'm not saying forget everybody else, but I think you should at least work hard to get your own people working. You don't hire us. Yeah. I don't want to say why he said he won't, but it's not proper to say it in here, but he said, I'm not hiring them ends. That's what he said. And everybody African American that an end. So.
Hey, George, on those codes, going back to the detail, it looked real enticing. We say, oh yeah, I can do this, I can do that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put this code on there. You better be able to provide information that you do that. Yeah. And it might be an invoice that you did work. You have to provide that information because we saw all the stuff that we could do. Yeah. And it was like, oh, well, this is all we've done so far. We can't even prove we do this. Mm-hmm. So we got to take it off a website until we can get a job. Then we can say, hey, we do this too, and now we can add that code.
You can always, like I said, like he said when he came in, you can always expand your certification. So the goal is to get the certification. Like now, if he called me and said, well, yeah, I want to expand on 5 codes, I think we have the expertise to do. That's great because he's already in the pipeline, he's already in the system now. So that's easier to do than trying to get it all up front. And then you get denied, and now you're like, well, you feel rejected. So the stuff that you can do, I would say apply for that first, and then the things that you want to do at a later date, expand on that because you're already in the pipeline here. Gotcha.
George, one thing we're gonna do is I just want to add one thing that maybe we take about a 10-minute break with everybody. The next workshop that we have is will be on customer service. It will be put on by a guy named Billy Owens who's been in the field over 25 years.
What kind of service?
Customer service.
Oh.
Those customers that walk in the door and you got to service them.
Yeah.
Those that you want to bring back.
Oh, yeah.
But what I want to say to you before we take the break is that next week prior to that class, we're going to take 15 to 20 minutes. We're going to talk to you about the portal that we're putting together. Yep. So that means that in this portal, there will be a bunch of information where you can communicate back and forth with the facilitators, and they can communicate with you. Like when this workshop starts, there will be a pretest. This guy decided he wants to give a pretest because he wants to be able to know what it is you really need to know. And even after the pretest, he's probably going to send you a post-test. So we're going to set it up where you understand how to go in that portal and get that information. Also, any other information that's related to black businesses like your flower shop, that'll be there. And anybody go in there and say, look, I'm looking for some flowers. Who can I go to? Your insurance company, your catering company, whatever your company is, will be in the portal. Yeah. So that's an advantage that you will have. And that portal will be available to all of the Illinois Black Chamber of Commerce chapters throughout the nation. So anybody can look in there and say, oh, hey man, we got a guy here selling water faucets. Not water faucets, water what? Water cooler, that's a faucet, right? So that's going to be something that's going to be a benefit and advantage for you because you're not going to be able to reach all these people without advertising. So you're going to get a free advertising from us and also with our website.
Well, just to add to that, it's going to be available to members. It's not available to everybody. If you are not a member of the committee, you will not have access to it. Okay, so we just have to make sure you understand that's part of it. That's part of your membership.
Joe, let me say a couple things.
Yes, sir.
I'd like everyone to know in the professional service, per se, the insurance. I'm going back to late 80s and the 90s. I was with the guy, I'm still with CTA. He took out of Chicago area $25 million he netted off of insurance policies that they got. What? The city, state, CPS. He was the lone broker on that. Got the business. Wow. By himself.
In the 80s.
80s and 90s. Okay. I was with him. He stiffed me for over $100,000. But he got busted in Virginia. Down there. Okay. Bribing people. So the FBI called me. Wanted to know that I know him.
Right.
Yeah, I know him. Lock him up. He owed me some money. You know, it was a joint venture. You know,
Right.
they called me. Go lock him up. But the next thing, getting back to your question, with the red line, Passion has the contract with the red line.
Yep.
Okay? There is a broker that they're dealing with. I truthfully don't believe that he's out of Chicago. Okay? And I spoke with Passion, one of their representatives, about being part of that contract. I said, well, Mr. John, I want to get back to you. Hell, it's been about 3 months ago. I didn't really know. But I bet you $1 to the donut. There's no black on that contract. No.
That's horrible.
I have a question.
That's horrible.
We allow this to happen. We allow this to happen.
And it's going right through our neighborhood.
That's right.
And that's why when I talk to elected officials, I'm like, you all have to be vocal and say something.
Yeah.
More importantly, Bill, as the chairman of transportation,
Yeah.
you have to, and it starts right there in 95th in your respective ward.
I went down to CTI, I went down to the board meeting. Okay. And stated my case. Now, I'm satisfied.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And again, I don't have anybody in the race in terms of, but all I'm saying is make it competitive and make it where at least people of color can bid on stuff.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're not awarded the opportunity, and that's great, but at least make it competitive.
Even as a sub.
Even as a sub.
As a sub, you're going to make some money.
You're gonna make some money. And I always say 50% of something is better than 100% of
That's
nothing.
right.
And it's like, as a sub, you would get a piece of
I
something.
need to be a friend. Give me some sub.
Well, you don't want
want the headache.
You don't want the headache, right? But we don't even get the crumbs, and then it's like, then you all complain about us being vocal, but it's going right through our neighborhood.
That's right.
And like I said, like I was saying earlier, what they're gonna do is they're gonna create eminent domain for those homes. So they might give you, you've been there 40 years, they might give you $70,000 for your house. With the comps going for 125, 150, or that more. But and if you don't take the 75, they're gonna just knock it down anyway.
That's right.
They're gonna still take it.
So we're gonna take a little break.
It's about 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Can I just
Yeah.
ask one last question on the
All right, go ahead.
later? Community benefits agreements. One of the things that my organization has been working on in coalition, especially with regards to the Obama Center coming, but just generally, the kinds of things that we're talking about right here, about what is the parity for public dollars coming back to businesses in the community, that are paying taxes. When you have people like, people getting stiffed on these contracts, why should they ever be able to get another contract if they're not paying people? That's one question. The second question is, isn't there a way that folks that I'm working with can work through these processes, whether it's procurement, I guess maybe to ensure that, to ensure that we get more business from these companies that are doing business in our neighborhoods?
Well, the first part of it, so that we had that same issue with Woodson Library, because we was working with 2FM, we was working with the library, and they were trying to, the local business, I forgot who it is, a lady, or I believe, lady, yeah, they were trying to get a benefits agreement with the library. It was a big deal because the law department said we couldn't do one, and it was,
Why?
I don't know, they just said you couldn't do one because they want to kind of control who was hired. I mean, because it was in conflict with, I believe it was Rosemoor, it was Chatham, it was Washington Heights. I think those are the areas that was involved. And the group that he just mentioned, they want to control who was hired, which is against the law. You can't say I'll hire all blacks. They want to control who was hired and who, all of the work that was funded, what was going on with the project. They want to control all of that. It even got so bad where they got Otis Moss or Reverend Moss involved, and we had a big old meeting, and it turned into like a rah-rah